So before comic book stores really came to Knoxville, all I could read was trade paperbacks. That's what they sold at the bookstore. They didn't really sell comics too much, single issues, but they had trade paperbacks. And I remember at Borders, back when that was a thing, I used to spend all my time and money there getting trade paperbacks of comics. But now you guys are here. So should I be changing up my reading habits? Is there really a big difference between single issues and trades, or is one better?
It's up to you, honestly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reading trades. Trades are awesome, especially if you're going back and reading older stuff, things that have been out of print for a while. Trades are a great way to get things from the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, even that just aren't available anymore. They're hard to track down, or that could be really, really expensive. But if you're into the newer things, kind of this new trend for people is to do what's called trade waiting. These are for people who aren't really collectors; they just want to read it, so they like to wait until the entire story's available in a trade paperback rather than picking up the single issues every month or every twice a month, whenever the thing comes out. And that's cool to do that because people, it's good to support the trade paperbacks. But the problem is, a lot of times, if you don't buy the single issues early enough, and if there's not enough support for the single issues out there, the book might not actually make it to trade. A creator-owned book is a book that's owned by the creator, rather than owned by the publishing company. For most of their existence, comic book characters and stories were all owned by the publishers: Marvel, DC, EC, whatever. But since Image and after that, some of the smaller companies have been doing this thing called creator-owned, where the creator actually owns all of the rights, all the marketing, distribution, everything to the stories and the characters they create. Now, what that means is the creator gets paid a little bit less up front, but they own everything on the back end. And that's been very lucrative to people like Todd McFarlane, Robert Kirkman. They're two huge success stories because they've been able to parlay that Todd McFarlane into a very successful toy empire. Robert Kirkman, obviously, television empire with Walking Dead and Outcast and some other things that he's been working on. But the way a creator-owned works is the publisher, like Image, for example, they're just the publisher. All they do is they print the books that the creators create, and they recoup their costs of publishing, and then take a small percentage of profit off the top. Everything else goes to the creator, which is really, really awesome. But where that affects what we were talking about earlier with the waiting for trades, the creator has to wait a lot longer to get paid for trade paperbacks. They also get paid a lot less for trade paperbacks because, one, trade paperbacks are extremely expensive to print and market and distribute, and two, the publisher prints a whole lot more of the trade paperbacks than they do of the single issue comics. So the creator doesn't actually get paid until all of the publishing costs are covered. So if it costs you $1 million to publish a trade paperback, the creator doesn't see a penny until all of those publishing costs are recouped. So if you want to support your creators and have them keep a job and food on the table, it's best to buy the single issues when they come out, because that's when they get paid the most and the fastest.
So are there any other benefits to buying a single issue?
Oh, absolutely. Single issues can actually increase in value over time, whereas trade paperbacks are probably not going to. First printings of a single issue, especially a key issue that contains like a first appearance or a death or a major event, something like that, that's something that for collectors, you can actually recoup not only your initial investment, but you can also make a little bit more money. Whereas a trade paperback generally doesn't ever increase in value over time. Very, very few exceptions, some of the Marvel Masterworks and things like that. But generally a trade is just, it actually depreciates in value, whereas a single issue will increase.